Hey there, it's Manuel here with you. I am going to show you in this video how to actually give a Kahoot quiz to your students. So as always, go ahead and log into your account. Once you're logged in, go to My Kahoots. This will display all the Kahoots that you have available to give to your students as an assessment. Once you look for the one that you want to give your students, you are going to click on Play. Now, once you click on Play, you are going to be given two options. Your two options are here: player versus player or team versus team. Let me explain the difference. If you are given this assessment to all of your students and you want to collect a score for each student, you want to choose this. Now, in order for you to utilize this option, each of your students will need to have a device, either a laptop, an iPad, or a cell phone. If they are using a laptop, they'll need to go to the internet provider or Internet Explorer, and in the address bar, they will need to type in www.kahoot.com and then enter their PIN number. If they're using a school device such as an iPad, then you need to make sure that each iPad has the Kahoot app already downloaded. So your students, all they have to do is open the app and enter their PIN number. If your students are using a personal device such as their cell phone, then they need to go to the App Store and download the app themselves. Now the app is free, so make sure that you let them know that there will be no charges. If you are, let's say, dividing your class into groups of 2 or 3 and collaboratively have them answer the questions as a team, then you will have to choose team versus team. Now, for this option, each team has only one device. That means that as a team, they're solving the problem or working together to answer the question, and only one score will be provided per team. So once you get your scores, you will not know, unfortunately, who answered what question or who doesn't know what skills. But if you play the player versus player option, then you'll get an individual score for each student. You'll be able to analyze your data by looking at what questions they missed, how long did they take, and what was their final score. Now, for this video, we are going to choose Classic. Now, once you choose the option that you want to use as you're assessing, you are going to be given this code. Now, as you're projecting this on the screen on your interactive board or Promethean board, your students are going to be provided with this screen. So on their iPad, cell phone, or the laptop, they are going to see this asking them to enter their PIN number. So again, the PIN number is displayed here at the top. Once they enter the PIN number, they are going to see a screen that looks like this, asking them to enter their name. So all they have to do is enter their first name. If you have students with the same name, multiple students with the same name, then of course you might want to say Johnny Smith and Johnny Brooks. Once they're in, they are going to see a screen like this, just to let them know that they're in and that they're just waiting on you to start the game. Now, your screen on the board is going to look like this, and you will see your students' names pop in as they're logging in. So let's say that you have 20 students. Of course, you want to see a 20 players here display on the left-hand side. If you have 20 students but only 18 players have logged in, then you'll have to go around and see who needs additional assistance. Once all of your students are logged in, you are going to click on Start. Now, once you click on Start, you are going to start the assessment. So your students are going to be given the first question. The question is going to be displayed here in the middle for you to read, and then again here at the top for your students to reference to. So what is an example of a solid? Notice the time is ticking or counting down, and then your options are here at the bottom. So what is an example of a solid? Of course, your answer is going to be spoon, so I am going to enter spoon. Once the time is up, or either all of your students have answered the question, you are going to be given a bar graph with who how many students answer each of the answer choices. Now, of course, the correct answer is C, or the circle with the orange bar. So therefore, you would like for that number to be the highest. Once you're ready to move on, you are also going to be given a chart. Now, I'm the only one playing or being assessed right now. But in your case, because you are going to have multiple students, your students are going to be listed here in the order that they answer the question. So the faster they answer the question, the more points they'll earn, and the highest rank they'll have. Once you're ready for the next question, you'll go ahead and choose next. Again, the question is going to be displayed here for you to read, and then here at the top for your students to reference back to. So blood is an example of A. My answer is liquid, so I'm going to choose that. Again, I am going to, as a teacher, see this being displayed on the Promethean board or interactive board. Now, your students are going to see this if they're answering correctly. This is going to be displayed, letting them know, yes, you got the right answer once the time is up, or no, unfortunately, you did not answer correctly. Now, as a teacher, you can briefly look around your room and see how many students have a red screen or a green screen on their iPad, laptop, or cell phone. Once you're ready for the next question, again, your students are going to be displayed here, the top 5, in order from the highest score to the lowest score. You'll go to the next question. This is an example of A. And then this time you are given a visual. So the question is here at the top, your visual is here in the middle, your time is here on the left-hand side, and then your students are answering using their devices. This is an example of a liquid. I'm going to answer incorrectly. Notice that there were 2 options or 2 answers for this question. If the students are thinking that you are displaying the glass, they might think of that as a solid. If they're looking at it as the content inside the glass, the orange juice being a liquid, then they might get this as their answer. So if they answer solid or liquid, they will get a point, but of course if they answer gas, then they will not get a point for that answer. Here you are given the number of students that answer gas, solids, and liquids. Now, that was the last question for this assessment. Once you finish the quiz, you are going to be given a bar graph, another bar graph with the top 3 players. So your gold, your bronze, and your silver will be displayed here with the names at the top of each student based on their score. The next thing that you can do is get the results. Here you will like to save the results, and you are going to be given 2 choices. You can save it to the drive, or you can directly save it to your desktop. So let's go ahead and do that. Here at the bottom, you are going to be given 2 options. You can either open them and then just look at them and save them, or directly save them and then look at them later. So if you, let's say that you're heading to lunch, or you have specials, or the day is over, you can go ahead and save them and then analyze your data later, or you can open them and then analyze your data once the scores come up. Now, let me minimize this and bring that in so you can actually see all of the information that you are going to be provided with. Now, in here, this Excel spreadsheet is going to give you an overview of your results. So here you have the percentage of questions being answered correctly and the questions that were not answered correctly. Then you have your final scores. Now again, I was the only one taking these quiz, but if you had 20 students, then all of your students' names are going to be listed here their scores here in order from the highest to the lowest, and then how many questions I answered correctly and how many I answered incorrectly. So again, your students' names are going to be listed here, their scores, how many questions they answered correctly and how many incorrectly. You also have a question summary along with individual questions. So for example, question 1 is going to give you an overview of who answered correctly and who answered incorrectly here. And that will be something that you can do for each question. Question number 2, question number 3, question number 1. So who answered correctly, who did not answer correctly, and their final scores for you to analyze or record in your grading book. So that's pretty much it. I hope that was helpful. If you want to play the game again, or if you want to play a different Kahoot, you can click on that and that will bring you to your Kahoots, and then you can choose a different Kahoot if you want to assess your students on a different skill. Thank you for watching, and I hope you go out and try Kahoot on your own.